Moving on to 3A, Yorktown at Bishop Luers. We're talking about some high-powered offenses. Yorktown is led by Riley Neal, quarterback, who's going to be playing his college football at Ball State. So we know you've got a Division I quarterback that you're facing. Obviously have to take them seriously. Luers coming off a really big win in which they weren't really challenged much. Right. Put Garrett away pretty early last week for the sectional championship game. What are some of the biggest keys heading into this week's game at Luers Field that you're taking a look at to get ready for this one?
You know, talking to Coach Lindsay yesterday, and he was really excited about the complete game that Luers played. I think that was something they've been looking for 3 months, really, because early in the season as they were winning, they were committing a lot of penalties. In the playoffs, you know, they struggled against Concordia. They beat Heritage, but really didn't dominate. And so last week they come out against Garrett and just, you know, they only give up 7 first downs, just over 100 yards of offense for the Railroaders. And it was just a complete performance for Luers. So if they can continue that into this week, you know, it's a really scary Luers team, particularly offensively, if they're able to put up the stats they did last week.
You mentioned the complete game. Noah Wazinski, 14 of 17. I mean, he looked sharp. Couple of touchdown passes. I mean, their offense looked good. Receivers making plays. Tyrell Johnson's catching balls on his fingertips before it hits the turf. These guys are rolling. How scary is it that Luers might be hitting its stride at this point in the season?
I think it's very scary for 3A. You know, and Drayen's lurking there in semi-state, the #1 team in 3A. So that'll be a huge potential game a week from now. But right now, definitely, that Luers offense is really scary right now. But Yorktown, you look at Yorktown and Riley Neal passing for over 2,600 yards, 28 touchdowns. This is a team that can match Luers score for score if it has to, if the Luers defense does not come to play. So I think while we kind of expect the Luers offense to have a traditionally good night, I think the defense is really going to have to step up because this is a team in Yorktown that will test Luers maybe better than anybody except Columbus Hartley in terms of the passing game.
When you take a look at Yorktown's record, 11-1, they've had a nice season, but I'm from Delaware County. I'm from Muncie. We're well known for basketball as opposed to football.
And volleyball.
And volleyball. So I've looked at their record. Their biggest 2 wins are most likely their 2 victories against Delta, one in the regular season, one in the postseason last week.
Which makes their season, by the way, beating Delta twice.
In Delaware County, that does indeed make your season. But I'm going to say that, you know, Delta early in the season, they come to Northside. They lose to a Northside team that lose badly to a Northside team that finished in the bottom half of the SAC, and Bishop Luers obviously won a share of the conference title in the SAC. I know it's hard to score compare, especially in the playoffs, and especially when you're talking about, you know, 15 to 18-year-old young men, but Yorktown's schedule isn't anywhere near where Bishop Luers is at.
Right. I think what this game comes down to, if Bishop Luers comes out, executes, takes advantage of its athleticism, it is going to win this game. Yorktown needs to come in, play as well as it can, and Luers kind of take them lightly, which I don't know. Based on last week, Luers may have moved past that. And I think that's why Coach Lindsay is so excited, because he feels last week we really came out, played to our potential, both offensively and defensively. If they continue that into Friday, I think it's going to be very tough for Yorktown to win.